Let me break it down for you. There are 56 million millionaires in the world. 56 million. But here's the catch. There are only 21 million Bitcoin. Do you get it yet? Do you understand how rare this is? And yet, here you are, still hesitating, still doubting. But here's the real kicker. When the exchanges finally run out of Bitcoin to sell, and trust me, that day is coming. Guess how you'll get your Bitcoin? You'll work for it. You'll sweat for it. And let me tell you, you'll regret not stacking up while it's still for sale. Now let's talk about this. It's been 15 years since Bitcoin was created or discovered. 15 years of relentless growth, proof, and resilience. And yet, some of you are still sitting there calling it a scam, waiting for a dip or thinking it's too late. Meanwhile, the rich, they're stacking it up quietly, locking it up, and making sure that when the exchanges run dry, they'll be the ones holding the keys to the future. And what about you? You'll be left fighting for scraps. Here's what's really happening. The people selling Bitcoin right now, they're not the wealthy. 99% of the Bitcoins being sold is coming from small investors. People who made a little bit of profit and thought that's enough. They don't understand what Bitcoin really is or what it's going to become. They're cashing out because they can't see the bigger picture. And guess who buying it? The rich. The ones who do understand it. The ones who know exactly what to do with this rare finite asset. The rich are hoarding Bitcoin. They're not selling it back to you. Why would they? They know that in the future, Bitcoins will be the ultimate forms of money. And when the exchanges run out, and they will, your only ways to get Bitcoins will be to work for it. Your kids, your grandkids, they'll be earning Satoshis, tiny fractions of Bitcoin, just to make ends meet. Imagine someone earning 4 or 5 Satoshis an hour while you had the chance to grab 1,000,000 Satoshis today by just starting dollar cost averagings in now if you cannot afford all at once. It's cheaper to buy Bitcoin now than labor for it later. Right now, Bitcoin is still something you can't purchase, but the clock is ticking and the windows is closing. Eventually, the only ways to get Bitcoins will be to trade your times and energies for it. Don't wait until that day comes. And for those who laughed when I said 0.01 Bitcoins could one day be worth $1 million, let me ask you something. Do you think the US government is proposing a bill to accumulate 1 million Bitcoins over the next 5 years because they think it's worthless? No, they know what's coming and they're preparing. Meanwhile, you sitting there saying, oh, by the time Bitcoin worth that much, $1 million won't buy a loaf of bread. Well, guess what? You're missing the point. This is about escaping that system entirely. Bitcoin doesn't inflate. It doesn't print trillions of coin out of thin air. It doesn't get devalued because some government decides to bail out a failing bank. It's finite. It's unmanipulatable. It's the hardest money humanity has ever seen. And you sitting there hesitating? The rich are pricing you out of Bitcoin. It's the ultimate gated community. They raise the value so high, only the wealthy can afford to get in. And that's exactly what's happening with Bitcoins right now. The price keeps climbing and most people are sitting back saying, oh, I'll buy it later. Newsflash, later is too late. The rich are buying up what's left while you're still waiting for a sale. You think the rich don't know what they're doing? They're not just buying Bitcoin, they're locking you out of it. Now listen, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't a financial advice. Don't go throwing your life saving into Bitcoins without understanding what you're doing. But what I am saying is this. If you're scared or hesitant, spend some time, just 5 to 10 hours, learning about Bitcoin. Dive into its history. Look at what happened over the past 15 years. You'll see why so many people, including myself, are obsessed with this asset. So here's the deal. The window is closing fast. The rich know what's coming, and they're making sure that they're on the right side of history. Meanwhile, you're sitting there waiting for a better price or thinking someone's going to hand it to you. Let me tell you something. The price isn't waiting for you. When the exchanges run out Bitcoin, and they will, you have no choice but to earn it, Satoshi by Satoshi. Is that the futures you want? You don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin. That's the beauty of it. You can start small, 0.01, 0.001. It doesn't matter. Just start. Even a little bit today will put you ahead of millions of people who are still asleep on this. But if you wait too long, the door will slam shut. And when it does, all the regret in the world won't buy you even a fraction of a Bitcoin. Don't let that be your story. Take action now. Learn about it. Start stacking and prepare yourself for the future. Because trust me, when that future arrives, the only people who won't be panicking are the ones who act today. This isn't just about you, it's about your families, your kids, your grandchildren. Imagine the opportunities you could give to them by securing even a small amount of Bitcoins now. Imagine being the person who took actions when others were still doubting. That's how generational wealth is built. And if you're not ready to invest it, that's fine. But don't sit in ignorance. Do your research. Spend a few hours understanding this asset, and I promise it'll change the way you see the futures. Don't let fear, doubt, or procrastination keep you from securing your future. Take actions and take control of your destination. And remember, hold tight and stack it right. Take care.